Through instrumentalizing architecture, the objective of the Deep Urbanism studio is to demystify the inner workings of the algorithms that hold increasing influence over our decisions, emotions, and sense of self by turning them into media that are comprehensible through our spatial perception. By subverting their innate purpose and objectifying them, the studio aims to hack such computational systems of surveillance and control in order to exploit them for their creative potential for architectural production. Since the formation of architecture is a distinct discipline, extrapolating architectural and urbanistic scenarios regarding the future has been a mainstay of the practice. Largely focused on technology and its implementation on lifestyle, these speculations widely varied based on their approaches, but three main categories emerge as the most popular interpretations: utopia, dystopia, and analytic realism. Based on these three categorical distinctions, the studio was asked to take a critical position and craft a scenario about an emergent urbanism of the near future in the era of anthropogenic climate change. Primarily using machine learning for its generative potential, we developed image-based computational models to interpret the impact of climate change and consequent sea level rise in a list of key regions of the world. The questions to start exploring were: how will this region be affected by climate change? Flood, drought, landslide, fire, immigration, etc. What are the consequences of climate change to its physical makeup? What are the consequences of climate change to its architecture and building stock? How will climate change affect its demographics? And how will climate change affect its economy? The studio was also required to take a position on contemporary technology in regards to their effect on their near-future urbanity. While the studio developed research-based speculations in response to these questions, the machine learning technique allowed them to create visualizations instantly in regards to these scenarios, reversing the typical architectural workflow where the photorealistic visualization is generated prior to analysis. As a consequence of the speculative and computational process, the students' teams came up with 5 distinct cities that focus on extreme scenarios generated through research. These 5 cities are Electronic Waste City in Southeast Asia, Gourmet City in Sweden, Battery City in Brazil, Echo Chamber City in New York, and Data Center City in Greenland. The photorealistic aerial imagery generated through machine learning was 3D modeled, edited, and implemented in a gaming engine in order to create cinematic representations of these cities, communicating their urban layout, architecture, and lifestyle. This workflow, in addition, allowed the studio to create immersive virtual reality that communicates the experience of the city, aiming to replace renderings, and augmented reality that dramatically communicates the scales of architecture and urban design, aiming to replace the physical model. In the end, all this content was cumulatively integrated into a mobile app to test out alternative modes of distribution for architectural content. While taking a research-based approach toward technology, politics, geography, science, economy, and design, the studio views architecture and urbanism as forms of technology, aiming to propose imaginative yet plausible projections of the near future using machine learning, gaming engine-based photorealism, and extended reality storytelling as primary generative and representational tools.